Welcome back to Daily Weekly Builds, and today I'm going to be building more Lego, of course, and at the end I'll share my thoughts on them as well. So here we are, we've got the vintage car released in 2021, the vintage taxi from 2022, and the moving van from 2023. So these two were regular GWP purchases at around the time of the modular buildings, although there was a slight delay between the release of some of them. And then this one was to go alongside the modular buildings, but it was a bit different because it was a fan competition run in partnership with Lego Ideas. So this is a fan submission that was approved, and this was released in the year of the police station. So it's a shame that we didn't get a police car to tie in with that set. Some modular buildings do have vehicles included. For example, the corner garage had the tow truck, and the diner had the pink car, and the Palace Cinema had the limo. And then some of them don't have vehicles, which the police station should have had one. I mean, the fire station came with a fire truck after all. But instead, we got this. I mean, it's a pretty cool car, and this is the first one I'm going to build. It's good to see that the instruction booklet is not crushed or folded inside the box. 2 large plates and 3 bags which aren't numbered, and just a small sticker sheet with the license plates. So I've just finished the vintage car, 2 minifigures, a few spare parts, and a pretty nice looking car. It's also a bit longer than I expected. I like the colour scheme. It's just nice and retro style. You can just about fit 2 minifigures in there. There is some space in the trunk or in the boot, but it's not exactly easy to get to. And the only stickers are just the license plate. But it's not perfect because, just by picking it up, yeah, that falls off. These surfboards, which are on the side of the car to add this nice detail, they're only connected by 2 studs, and it's not great because it just, it's barely, I didn't even have to put much force into that. That's how it's held on, and it just falls off. It's kind of a known problem with this car. I have seen some people come up with fixes on Rebrickable to make them, stay on a bit better, or remove them altogether and come up with an alternative design. But aside from that one flaw, and maybe that little bit of gap underneath the windscreen there, that's a little weird. But apart from that, it's pretty nice. I do quite like it. And there's just a close look at the 2 minifigures. She does have an alternate face where she can be wearing sunglasses, but they're pretty nice. They kind of match the vibe looking at their outfits with the car. It's kind of got a nice classic style to it. So I've just taken off the surfboards and replaced them with 1x6 tiles. I know it doesn't look as smooth, but it's just a temporary thing, and they're going to keep falling off. I know it does look nicer with them on there, but I need to come up with a better fix. So for now, I just put these on there. But when I was doing it, I also noticed something else, which you can kind of see here. On some of these parts, let's see if the camera will focus on it. You can kind of see the mold marks where these pieces have been snapped off the mold in the factory. Not great, Lego. You should do better. I mean, I know this is a retired set now, but still. That shouldn't have passed the quality check, in my opinion. But maybe I'm being picky. What do you think? Next up, we're on to 2022 with the vintage taxi. Inside this box, we've got 3 bags. Again, no numbers, but it's easy enough. You just open them well out. It's not exactly much to build. But the instruction booklet is all folded and creased. That's not great. And here is the vintage taxi with some spare parts, including a donut and this piece. I don't know, is it supposed to be a chocolate swirl or something else? Because one of these is in the bin right here, so I don't know what it's meant to be. I'll leave that down to you guys, but it's nice to get a spare donut. We had the 1 minifigure included on this little bit of street sidewalk, and this sign, which I think is supposed to represent a little taxi stop. And there's the vintage taxi itself. There are no stickers or printed pieces in this set. The only way to indicate that it's a taxi is the colour scheme, I guess. If, not everywhere uses the yellow and black colour scheme to signal that it's a taxi cab, but it's got the lights on it as well. I guess if you took the lights off, it could just be a normal classic car, which does look pretty nice. But yeah, there's no license plates, no taxi logo or anything. Does fit 2 minifigures in there, although it only comes with 1, which I find really strange because, it's a taxi. You'd think there'd be a driver and a passenger, but instead you just get the 1 minifigure and this little street sidewalk. I'd much rather not have this street sidewalk and have 2 minifigures, even if they didn't have any accessories. Just if they need to come up with the extra budget, get rid of those parts and throw in an extra minifigure, because that would have made more sense. The instructions are kind of weird because, again, you only get the 1 minifigure, but is he the driver or is he a passenger? Because on the box and in the instructions, he stood there waiting for a taxi, but then also he's seen driving the taxi. I don't know who he's meant to be. Obviously this set was to go alongside the boutique hotel, so I suppose you could use a minifigure from that set and he could be the driver, driving someone to or from the hotel. But apart from that, I haven't really got anything bad to say about this set. I suppose my only nitpick is that it really could have done with just a little taxi logo or a license plate, but that's a stretch really. I can't fault it. It was a really straightforward build. No need for it to be 18 plus though. The last set I'm going to build today is the moving truck, this year's modular gift with purchase. And this one comes with 2 minifigures and quite a few different furniture builds, which is pretty nice. So surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, this time we do have numbered bags, although we've got 1 bag 1 and 3 bag number 2s. So that's a little strange. And the instruction sheet is also a bit larger, but it's also all creased and crimpled. And so is the sticker sheet. Here we go, it's the last one. The moving truck, all finished, and I think this has to be my favourite one. But here are the spare parts and some interesting ones. We got a bit of money there and a spare donut. 2 minifigures, both with double-sided faces, so they can look like they're, I don't know, maybe she's dropping something or he's trying hard to lift something a bit heavy. Brilliant build for this little jukebox. We got the piano, a piece of art, and this little furniture build here, and and a brick-built little hand trolley here instead of using the pre-molded piece. And this is a ramp that can go onto the truck to help them load it up. And then this little cargo box, it says to the jazz club, and inside is just another little donut. I have to say though, this build here is probably my favourite thing. Just the way the drawer is made and the little lamp and the legs on it. Let me just tip that coin out. It's made using a window piece and it just looks so good. The only thing I don't really like about this set is the fact with this little box, it's, you know, brick built, but it uses this inverted tile for the lid and it doesn't really connect, it just kind of sits there loosely, so that's probably going to get lost. I don't know why they didn't use the pre-molded piece, but I guess they wanted to make everything brick built here, so I can understand that, but this didn't work greatly with that. And another thing, I feel like the truck is just a bit too tall for what it is. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't like how tall the back is. And all of the furniture does just about fit inside to the back of the truck. The instructions do tell you how to load each thing in, and then of course there's a little slot there for the ramp to slide under, although you can only fit 1 minifigure in the cab, but that's fine. There we go, all 3 of these modular vehicles all built and all done. And I really like them, all of them, but I think if I have to pick a favourite, I'm probably going to go for the moving truck, which honestly, before building this, I would have thought the vintage taxi would have been my favourite because I just like the way the car looks. But then again, the vintage car as well, definitely more of a complicated build compared to the other 2, but I just love all the furniture builds that come with this. That's very nice. I wish the vintage taxi came with a second minifigure though. That's what it's really missing, isn't it? Which one of these is your favourites? Let me know in the comments, and I can't wait for the next modular vehicle. Probably coming out next year, I imagine, with the next modular building. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that video. I certainly did, because they were pretty fun to make. It's nice to get some different styles of classic vehicles. Hopefully LEGO continues to do that. But thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now. If these 3 vehicles were to have a race, which one do you think would win? The moving truck, the vintage taxi, or the vintage car? My money's on this blue one over here.